between our two competitors here, the Showdown, the ESET UK Master Showdown in the top right spawn position here on Cloud Kingdom. It is the Protoss player who's been struggling a bit versus JonnyRecco recently. He's lost the last 4 games he played against him in a row, possibly. It is FXO's BabyKnight, which was of course a really bad reference because they probably played tons of times on the ladder, so he really didn't lose the last 4 games in a row. That was just me being silly, guys. His opponent in the bottom left, we've got the Blue Zerg player. It is JonnyRecco, looking so solid with his Swarm host play, looking so methodical. Looks like he has everything figured out already this early in Heart of the Swarm. It's stunning to see.
Herped up because Swarm hosts OP. Of course, I'm only kidding. But no, JonnyRecco played that well. If I had to make a criticism, it would be that he stayed on that Swarm host contain a bit too long, allow BabyKnight to really macro up. If he'd been a bit more aggressive, maybe he could have ended that game sooner, because there was a point where it looked a bit risky for him.
Yeah, definitely. He was in some trouble there. Oh, nice. Morphing that weakened drone into a spawning pool. So not going to be doing a lot of harass with that prototype anymore because it's very low shields. Will get in position to block the natural hatchery from going down in just a second. As we see BabyKnight once again going for the pylon on the high ground. We've seen him do that time and time again. And I've seen some casters be like, what? What's happening here? This has to be some special tactic. But no, it's just the Forge going down on the low ground after a Nexus first.
I actually really like this in terms of wall off on this map. I think it's pretty swish. BabyKnight was actually the first person I saw do it, and I thought it was really quite clever. And it's safe as well against any early Ling pressure. Yeah,
but what does it really help you do? I mean, the only advantage...
50% more awesome.
It makes that your probe doesn't have to go all the way down there to build the first pylon. So basically you save maybe 10 or 15 minerals, like 2 or 3 trips in the time that it takes to go all the way down the ramp, place the pylon near the Nexus. That's the time he really saves.
It also allows you to do this funky wall off as well, which is pretty cool.
This really vulnerable wall off to Baneling busts. But hey, when is the last time you've seen a Baneling bust versus Protoss?
Yeah, it's not too common. We did see it earlier on, or it could have been, in the Challenger series.
But he won the game before the Banelings came out. That was a bit of a disappointment. It used to be so popular, you know, to go for that Baneling all-in every now and then, because Protoss players built a very greedy wall, didn't get sentries, went immediately into Stargate play or Robo play or skipped something. It's a shame, man. I'm so sad there's less cheese.
Just like, I like 4 gates, it makes the games quicker. No, you can't have no more 4 gates. Well, you can.
No more Baneling busts either. I mean, last Baneling bust I've seen is a long time ago, which is on one hand a good thing because Baneling busts are pretty much impossible to pull off when your opponent gets an early mothership core.
Yeah, it's also pretty tough to do if your opponent has any sense of using sentries and force fields.
Yep. So there's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, it's not as easy. The only time I'd ever Baneling bust is against the Terran. Then it's quite funny. But anyway, it's still risky though. The point being, this game is macroing up. That's why we're just chattering on about nonsense and Banelings, and Banelings are fun. The only thing, that's why I was so excited when Widow Mines came in, because they were like a reusable burrow Baneling, which made my life as a caster so much more fun.
It is. It definitely made every matchup more fun. How do you feel about the Hellbat though?
I don't mind. I think it's a lot more balanced than it was. I remember in the beta having a lot of fun with Hellbat drops.
Yeah, like 4 Hellbats in a matter of fact.
Killing a hatchery with 4 Hellbats was hilarious. Quickest way to make a Zerg player rage out. But yeah, anyway, as we've got now, the Cybernetics core up on the high ground, the other advantage, of course, of putting the pylon there. And that just means that it does potentially hide a bit of information. We do... Oh, your wishes come true. It's some delayed 4-gate pressure into the 3rd.
Okay, that's cool. That's a strategy we used to see quite a bit, but not as much as of late. As we see, the Mothership Core has now popped out. The Scouting Overlord is going to be coming in, but the gateways are all the way tucked away in the middle right position of his main base, so the Overlord might not get to see them.
But the Overlord saw the pylon. That is such a big giveaway, seeing that pylon there, and Recco straight away starts his Rotron and a Spine Caller.
Yeah, so he has now seen that pressure is on the way. Might lose his stock here. BabyKnight has to be so careful. Going to be joining up with the Zealot. The Mothership Core has now entered the front. He needs to keep this panel alive. I believe his probe is dead.
Yep, his probe did go down. Of course, this delayed 4-gate pressure it's really nice because you do still have the recall, but JonnyRecco dealing with it perfectly, pushing out, being aggressive, and now pumping a couple of roaches. His spine crawler is now nearly complete. That's going to just help him defend it even better, putting it in the mineral line at the back, but a big whoop in of Zealots will tank up quite a bit of damage, so this is where things get a little bit risky. Focusing the Mothership Core, just as we've seen previously, and this is just solid play.
The Zealots have +1, so they're going to be dealing very well with the Zerglings, but the Roaches are now popping out. JonnyRecco even cancelled one of his spine crawlers. That's how confident he was into defending this push. This is perfect play by JonnyRecco once more, knowing exactly what he needs and what he doesn't need. Knew he could cancel that spine crawler, but BabyKnight's not done yet. He gets a good time warp down, manages to get one Roach, but there's still a lot of units left here. I don't think he can do it.
Yeah, Recco did pump 3 more roaches, but a round of 10 drones. That is how confident he is, and that could actually be a little bit overconfident if he's not careful.
Yeah, he's been caught out of position right now. JonnyRecco, I thought he had that, but then he loses both of his queens. Didn't have any Zerglings or roaches in production anymore, and now going to be first to pull the drones. And BabyKnight is finally starting to do some damage, and he needed some damage done. Another Stalker goes down. Both players trading quite evenly so far.
Yeah, I think that pull of drones was actually really good because
it was needed.
To be honest, it was needed, but BabyKnight didn't actually kill any of them. So it was really just a bit of a fake, and BabyKnight now forced back. He is taking his third behind this, but it's not an exceptionally early third. And all in all, to be honest, JonnyRecco, he lost hardly anything and got a sneaky drone wave in and still didn't take any economical damage.
You're right, he didn't... Well, he did lose a bit of mining time, but granted, that's not the biggest deal ever. The Mothership Core is trying to harass a little bit here. Was almost able to kill a Spinecrawler. That would have been the first time for me to see a Mothership Core kill a Spinecrawler. The Queen is now there, going to be making that Mothership Core retreat. And of course, he wants to keep that Mothership Core alive because an attack at his third base could be something that JonnyRecco is planning on.
No, you see, do you know what I really hope? I really wish there was a way to make that into some kind of a meme, like JonnyRecco's face just being there like, you're doing some 4-gate pressure on me. Guess I better drone.
Like, yeah, it was so risky. It was so risky. But being in his mind, BabyKnight attempted the pressure, failed, and usually when pressure fails, you fall back to your third base as Protoss and tech towards a Robo, get Colossi, get armor upgrades, get sentries. But he didn't do that. He fell back, warped in another round, Chrono boosted a few gateways and warped in another quick 2-3 zealots, and that is what caught JonnyRecco a little bit off guard. But he didn't end up losing that much, as you
he lost one drone.
He lost one drone,
which I'm sorry, I've seen people which I consider a good defense of that sort of pressure, losing 3, 4, 5 drones. So that was incredibly good play. Recco securing his 4th base behind this as well, getting some swarm hosts out, and of course the 4-gate pressure means the BabyKnight's tech is quite significantly delayed.
He's getting Immortals right now, which is not the most ideal thing to be teching to. He would really love double Colossi production right now. If he knew, actually he is going to know in a second because there is an observer on the way, is going to see the Hydralisk Den, and in a second he will be able to spot the Infestation Pit, and from there he will be able to think, okay, Hydras plus Infestation Pit plus upgrade researching, that is probably going to be Swarm Hosts.
Yeah, but Swarm Hosts, they were such a bane in BabyKnight's game last series, or not last series, last match, so that just means that he's not going to be looking forward to that. The Robotics Bay only just getting started, and we already have 5 Swarm Hosts out, 4 more on the way, and that just means that he's going to be able to get a very nice contain if he gets them in a good position.
And what is BabyKnight's plan right now? He is pushing out. Would it be a 4th base? No, I don't think so. He wants to kill the base on the left there. He wants to kill the 4th base of JonnyRecco. And JonnyRecco has been expanding towards his opponent. This is a little risky, but he already has the Swarm Host in position. And that's not something BabyKnight was counting on. He was like, okay, I see the Infestation Pit. I'm going to attack before the Swarm Hosts get out on the field. And he was like, what? You already have them? Oh, well, guess I'm going to be going back home and get some Colossus.
This is a good choice, actually, though, by BabyKnight. Looping round, going to go and push in towards the 5th. Will force a cancel there. JonnyRecco won't be able to keep that up.
No.
So that's not a big issue for Recco because he is still a base up, but it was just a nice little move. And actually, BabyKnight, all he's got to be careful of is not overcommitting to this push. Getting those force fields down. As long as he doesn't get surrounded, which he won't now, everything will be fine for him. And he got
good force fields there.
Yeah,
get
good
some
force
roaches.
fields everyone.
3 roaches.
He's just got to be careful not to overcommit, and then he's fine.
Look at this, one Swarm Host. That's a risky, that's a very adventurous Swarm Host there, going by himself to intercept the Protoss army. He's like, oh, I'm gonna trap them, and there's the recall. BabyKnight not taking any risks this time around. Recalls, has 200 energy, so even if he gets attacked right now, he could still use the photon overcharge. He's all good.
Yeah, I think that recall was just the safe thing to do, and BabyKnight needs to be very safe in this situation. One bad step, one bad move with so many swarm hosts out, you'll have a very cost-ineffective engagement. Blinking forward will get a swarm host, but
Two
with
even.
That Overseer really helping though, allows him to identify where that observer is. Unfortunately, doesn't have anything that can actually attack it, which might be the flaw in the plan.
Yeah, that's another... the first two Colossi have hit the field. Double Colossi production, of course. The extended thermal lens is on the way. Shield upgrades coming out. BabyKnight, one of those Protoss players
Cancel
that
the
really
Nexus.
favors. Yeah, do we do it?
Yep.
Whoa, that was super close on that cancel. That was dangerously close. That's the word I was looking for, Maddles. As another big wave of Locust. It's going to be killing a pylon, killing a probe, and probably another pylon.
Well, the pylon will go down because it will just focus up very, very quickly.
So-
Supply blocking BabyKnight. BabyKnight not even with another pylon in production yet. This is really quite catastrophic. First Viper already hitting the field. The 5th base is about to be up behind this for JonnyRecco. So all of these adding together just mean that ultimately he's getting a good economy, he's got a good soft contain, and this is pretty much an exact replica of the second game.
Oh my god, those swarm hosts have so much damage. I mean, the locusts that they spawn at such a quick rate, they do so much DPS, it's not even funny. We did see a time warp out of BabyKnight that didn't really hit anything there on the ramp. Not sure what he was hoping to achieve there. A lot of swarm hosts here by themselves, but they are with 10 of them, so that's a lot. He's going to spawn... Oh, be careful right now. We could see a blink forward. Oh no, JonnyRecco not paying attention, loses 2 of the swarm hosts immediately. Third one goes down, is going to lose a 4th. And wow, this could be BabyKnight's avenue back into this game. Blinks forward again, and he takes out so many swarm hosts.
They were some really, really nice blinks there. Absolutely what BabyKnight needed. Knocking JonnyRecco's swarm host count down to 5, which of course isn't too threatening. Some roaches are pushing up towards the natural base though, and this is where he can potentially get some nice damage. And if he does do a good counterattack, he's forcing BabyKnight to bring all of his army back, allowing him time to get out more units, get some Vipers out, and that's really where he's going to stabilize. But this game very, very close at the moment.
It is, Maddles. Super, super close. JonnyRecco wants to buy some time right now. He's only on 160 supply. He does have a lot of swarm hosts coming out again. He has Vipers on the way, but he's on only 170 supply. Like I just said half a second ago, I just wanted to repeat that because he's only on 160-70 supply right now. He needs to max out because BabyKnight is maxed out and could potentially attack him while he's weak.
And that's the sort of timing window you have to try and hit, because if BabyKnight did attack when the swarm host count is low, he'd be a lot safer. But he's yet again sitting and being passive, which is a dangerous approach when your opponent is expanding everywhere.
Yeah, and he is, man. He's on 5 bases already, where BabyKnight hasn't even established his 4th just yet. He is going to catch all these Hydras, though. What are you doing there, Hydras? They got caught. Oh, actually, they're going to kill a lot of Stalkers. Where's the Colossi going?
The Colossi did not get the memo. They're like, you guys can handle those Hydras, right? And unfortunately, while they can, they lost quite a few. In terms of how cost-effective they're being, actually BabyKnight is losing less resources than Recco this game, purely down to those lovely blinks around the swarm host we saw earlier. Yeah,
those swarm hosts going down early on was definitely what caused him to be cost-effective in this game. So JonnyRecco not in as good of a position as he was in last game. Last game, at this point in the game, he was at 3,000 gas or 2,000 gas and like 8, 9, 10,000 minerals. Whereas right now, he's just been able to max out and he pretty much used all his gas that he had in the bank to be able to achieve that.
Now, as we saw there from the Observer, Ultralisk Cavern is on its way down, as well as the 3-3 missile attack upgrade, so identical playstyle out of Recco as in Game 2. Also, BabyKnight is researching Storm behind this, and that Storm will allow him to engage the Locust better as long as he gets some good hits off. And he's got a very scary army for the time being. The Vipers there, though, feedback's hitting perfectly, though.
Wow.
All of the Vipers go down. Absolutely ace by the Protoss player, and that is precisely what you need to do.
That's exactly what he needed to do. BabyKnight's going to be trading so effectively there, and this big ball might just be too much for JonnyRecco to handle right now. He has more Vipers on the way, but he lost all of his Vipers, and they did absolutely nothing. There's so many Colossi here. Drones even being pulled. A few drones in the combat. They're going down immediately to the Protoss lasers, and yeah, this is going to be BabyKnight taking his first game, I believe.
Well, JonnyRecco is going for some counter-aggression at the natural. He's got a couple of units over there, just pushing in with the roaches. It's completely undefended, one cannon, and that is potentially going to allow him to deal some economic damage. But the swarm hosts are getting cleaned up very effectively. A blink forward goes down, but the robotics facility is going to fall at the natural. A big warping of Stalkers just means that Rico will have those roaches cleaned up, but he's not in a good spot. He's at 150 supply to 200 of BabyKnight.
He's trying to expand to the bottom right now. He needs time. He needs so much time. He's producing Zerglings right now, which is the last thing he needs, but the only thing he can realistically produce because he only has 100 gas. And, you know, having 100 supply worth of Zerglings is better than not having 100 supply worth of Zerglings. So he's just trying to get stuff out on the field, and he needs to win that next engagement. Needs to take out the Colossi somehow. There are 5 Ultralisks on the way. They have decent upgrades, but once again, he has no melee attack upgrade, so the Ultralisks are going to be 0 attack upgrade.
Yeah, and that's, again, the same problem we saw in Game 2. He didn't have the upgrades required. This Viper play, BabyKnight is just so comfortable at getting those feedbacks off that it's not really an effective strategy against him, because if you get those feedbacks as precisely as BabyKnight does, the Vipers do nothing.
Yeah, those Vipers did absolutely. I don't think they even got a single abduct off or anything. No blinding clouds, no abducts. They got feedback immediately and they all died. It was a very difficult situation to watch for a Zerg player, I can imagine. But JonnyRecco has been able to max out again. He needs to win this engagement decisively. He needs to win this engagement and take out one of BabyKnight's bases, because if he doesn't, he's going to be falling too far behind. He has. His Zerglings have no attack upgrades. His Ultralisks have no attack upgrades. The only units that are well upgraded in this army composition are the Hydralisks, so they are really the important thing to watch here.
Yeah, but BabyKnight, I think what you said was completely correct, Lolian. JonnyRecco needs to deal with some of these extra expansions, because BabyKnight is sitting very comfortably on 5, and, well, JonnyRecco is also on 5 bases, which is never good for a Zerg player. So, as long as... Well, if JonnyRecco was able to take out the top left base, for example, things would be a lot more equalized. But in terms of the economy, BabyKnight is ahead, and all while he's ahead there, he's got better units, he's got a bigger bank.
Yeah,
one good engagement, and the game is going to be going in BabyKnight's favor.
I agree with that. Here, are we going to see an engagement? Blinding Cloud goes down, doesn't really hit much of anything. A few abducts are going to go down. He gets 2 Colossi, 3 Colossi get abducted to the middle, but the Ultralisks have already started to melt, and they do absolutely no damage because they have so very little upgrades. The Colossi are still alive in the back, 2 Immortals, still going strong. And JonnyRecco, he's in some trouble. Once again, losing so many Vipers. They're out of energy. Another Viper goes down, and there's the aggressive blink forward by BabyKnight. JonnyRecco is making another 6 Ultralisks, but I don't know, man. I don't know, Kev, is what Mr. Bitter would say.
Well, it's going to be pretty one-sided now. JonnyRecco, if he gets an amazing engagement, will be fine. But he's just got to win, really, with his next push. Otherwise, he's got a huge amount of problems.
Yeah, you definitely will have to do that. Pure Ultralisk with a few Hydras mixed in there.
I wish you get an Infestor or 2. Like, seriously, if you're going...
4 or 10.
Yeah, if you're going to go, like, mass ultra, 1, don't send them through the smallest choke on the map. That's never advisable. But also, you need a fungal growth just to lock down the Stalkers so the ultras can actually engage. And if they did manage to do so, it'd be fine. But just so many cannons dealing so much damage there. BabyKnight, even with the Stalkers up on the high ground,
blink.
He is in... No, you don't want to... Oh, that's a good place to blink there. Needs to be careful not to get surrounded, though, by those ultras. But, well, this is really, really going in BabyKnight's favor.
Yeah, it is. JonnyRecco can do absolutely nothing. He's losing those Ultras so fast. All the Immortals are still alive. There's still a lot of Templar on the high ground ready with Storms, and so many Ultras have already gone down. There's only a handful left out of the map. 6 Ultralisks left. JonnyRecco falls down to 140 supply, and we should see the GG come any second now. GG gets called, and BabyKnight fights back and takes